Yo, this your boy, the real McCoy, coming at you, man. We talking about the NFL, man. Talking about my Dallas Cowboys, man. You know what it is, man. Got the big Sunday night football matchup, week 4 against the New Orleans Saints down in New Orleans. You know what I mean, on the road. Big game, big primetime game. You know what I mean. Right now I'm watching Monday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs up in Lambeau against Aaron Rodgers and them Packers. Aaron Rodgers doing his thing as usual. But the reason why I'm saying that, just got out the shower. My shirt's wet. Just got out the shower. Anyway, making this video on Monday, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the status of Drew Brees, the Saints quarterback, and right now during halftime, Chris Berman, Adam Schefter, and not Trey Wingo, not Ron Jaworski. I forgot the guy's name, but they just said Drew Brees visited Dr. James Andrews, popular, famous doctor, works with a lot of professional teams, a lot of professional athletes, football, basketball, baseball. Very rich doctor, you know what I mean? Went to see him. There was no tear in the rotator cuff, no tears in the shoulder, no breaks, no fractures, anything like that. Just very bruised and really sore. So he's listed as day-to-day, you know what I mean? So don't know what his status is going to be for the week 4 matchup. But with that being said, Cowboys Nation, don't jump off the couch hooping and hollering easy W. No, because his backup, Luke McCown, man, he played solid last week. Divisional game on the road, solid defense against the Carolina Panthers. You know what I mean? I think he went 31 for 38, like 310 yards. He didn't throw any touchdowns. He threw one interception, and that came late in the game. They were driving down. They were down, they lost 27-22. Down 27-22. He threw a pass in the end zone. And I forgot the guy's name, but the Panthers corner made a great play. Jumped up and made a great play, picked it off. If he didn't make that play, if he just tipped it, the Saints the Saints receiver would have caught it and they would have beat the Panthers. So he played solid. He played very solid now. You know what I mean? So don't get it twisted. It's the NFL, you know what I mean? But with that being said, it's a winnable game. Same thing I said about the Falcons last week. It's a winnable game. No doubt, you know what I mean? But there are some things that kind of scare me and make me nervous coming into this game. You know what I mean? Number one, prime time. Players, they get up. You know, the blood gets pumping for those prime time games. Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, Thanksgiving, things like that, because everybody's watching. Other NFL players are watching. NBA players are watching, you know what I mean? Everybody's watching prime time. That makes me nervous. Number two, in the dome. Now, a couple of years ago, it was almost impossible to go down in that Mercedes-Benz dome down in New Orleans and get a W. You know what I mean? Kind of like going up to Seattle. Ever since Russell Wilson got there and getting a W. Now, it hasn't been that way over the last, two years? 2014, even this year. They've lost their only home game this year. Week 2 to Jameis Winston and the Bucks. But you know, he's still at home. It's prime time, things like that. So those things scare me. Number 3 is they're desperate. They're 0-3. They lost to the Cardinals week 1, to the Bucks week 2, and they just lost to the Panthers week 3, and they already got 2 divisional losses. So they're desperate. It's week 4. That's a quarter of the season, and you don't want to go 0-4. Because if you're 0-4, you might as well hang up. Playoff, division, hang it up. It's a wrap. So now you're playing for contract. Sean Payton might be on the hot seat. You know what I mean? You're playing for your job. I mean, if it's week 10 and you're 1-9 or 2-8, something like that, I mean, the owner might come down to GM like, you know, say you play middle linebacker. They might take you out and put in a younger guy, see what we got. So guys are playing for the job. You don't want to go 0-4 in the NFL. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? So they're desperate. The 4th thing that scares me or that makes me nervous is how we played in the second half was horrible. Horrible last week against the Falcons. Horrible. I mean, defense couldn't stop anybody, which is what I was kind of banking on as far as the game being winnable. And offensively, I think we only had like 52 total offensive yards in the second half. That's 30 minutes of football. Horrible. So those 4 things kind of like, man, makes me nervous. But at the end of the day, with all that being said, it's a winnable game. With or without Drew Brees, this is a winnable game, man. No doubt about that. Now, we're putting a lot of pressure on our offensive line. Now, Tyron Smith, he got beat by Vic Beasley, their first-round pick out of Clemson last week for the Falcons. He got beat and got beat for a sack. And our offensive line, like I say, they can't take a play off. They got to be great every single play. You know what I mean? and you know, we're putting a lot of pressure on them, you know. But it's a winnable game. Same thing with the Falcons. I think our offensive line is good enough to create some running lanes like the first half. You know what I mean? For Joe Brown and the boys, create some running lanes that can be sustained at over 60 minutes of football. You know what I mean? Because the second half, the Falcons last week, they started to run blitz. They started coming downhill aggressively on the run. 8 guys in the box, things like that. And then when we got behind, they had 2 high safeties, and they put pressure on Brandon Wheaton and Terrence Williams and Devin Street. Our 2 receivers had 0 catches. 0. None. Had no catches. You know what I'm saying? Put a lot of pressure on them, and we couldn't get it done. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Saints may come out, do that from opening possession. 8 guys in the box. Make Brandon Wheaton beat. Now, Brandon Wheaton wasn't the reason we lost. You know what I mean? He went 22 for 26. Me as a backup, you know what I mean? 22 of 26. A lot of his... Lance Dunbar had 10 catches, 100 yards, so a lot of his throws went to Lance Dunbar out of the backfield and let Dunbar make plays, run after the catch, things like that. You know what I mean? We didn't really scratch the field. We had the one deep throw to Terrence Williams, which ended up being a face mask penalty. You didn't throw outside the numbers. I mean, we have to get something out of receiving core. Outside the numbers, down the field, we got to get something. You got to get, because the second half of the Falcons game last week, that won't beat anybody in the NFL. I'm just being real. That won't beat anybody in the second half of last week. That's not. It's the NFL, man. It's the NFL. That won't beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be better. Now the first half against the Falcons, that's good enough to go down to over from Dallas to New Orleans and get that W with or without Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Now we can't have like last week with Julio and Devontae Freeman going off. We can't have that. We can't have Marcus Colston and Graham and Pierre Lewis. We can't have both of them going off. I don't think that's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. Things like that. The defensive line, thin, injuries, they're tired, fatigue, got things like that. We can't have that. You know what I mean? I definitely don't think Colston is as talented as Julio. You know what I mean? But we can't have both going off. You know what I mean? I think our defense to play better, more consistent throughout the entire. They played solid in the first half. The second half, I mean, the Falcons just lit us up. They shredded us. Fatigue kicked in, but get a credit to the Falcons. They lit us up. You know what I mean? But with all that, this game is winnable, man. It's winnable. Now we gotta figure some things out from the receiving core. We got it. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get something. You got to help out. We got a backup quarterback. Even before Romo got hurt, we weren't really getting much. You know what I'm saying? After a while, guys, I mean, the eye of the sky, the film don't lie. They're going to catch on to that. They're going to load up the run. There's already a lot of pressure on our offensive line because offensively, that's what we're really banking on, our great offensive line to create running lanes and the protection for Brandon Wheaton. And they, for the most part, they played very well. They played solid. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting anything outside the numbers, they can crowd the box, things like that, and put the pressure on you. And if you can't really win one-on-one matches on the outside, it's tough to win in the NFL. It's tough. But it's a winnable game. This game is winnable, man. I think our defense will be better, no doubt about that. I definitely think our defense will be better. I don't know if I'm not expecting it's NFL. I'm not expecting the first quarter, especially the first half, to have the running lanes and the running that we had against the Falcons for the entire game. I'm not expecting that. But the defense have been known to give up big plays, pass and a run. You know what I mean? So there will be opportunities there. It's just that, can we be consistent for the entire half? I'm not saying score 28 in the first half, 28 points in the second half. That's not likely. You know what I mean? Just be consistent. Because, I mean, our offense was going up in the first half. They were up there idling. There was an idle in the second halftime. Then in the second half start, it wasn't even a decline. They just fell off a cliff. Offense was gone. You know what I mean? That can't happen. That can't happen. Maybe some quick slants, some bubble screens, wide receiver screens, run a little wildcat, do something. Let Lance Dunbar get more touches in space. We got to do something. You know what I mean? Keep them honest. Because if they just put 8 guys in the box, have a single high safety, or put 9 guys in the box and play cover 0, no safety. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Williams, what you gonna do? Bryce Butler, what you gonna do? Devin Street. Now we're gonna rely on Cole Beasley and Jason Witten. You know what I mean? With a backup quarterback. Now Witten played solid. He wasn't the reason we lost. Now that pick he threw was horrible, horrendous. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he was throwing, because Jason Witten was open, so I'm pretty sure he was throwing it to Witten. It was so high over his head that Witten didn't even reach for it. It was horrible. You know what I mean? But this is a winnable game. I think that it probably won't be, it's the NFL, man. You can't expect that type of stuff every game. A mixture of what it looked like in the first quarter and in between the second half. In between, just be consistent with it. I think our defense is a bounce back and give us a chance to win. I'm banking on my defense again. I'm banking on the defense again to step up and play better. So with or without Brees, I think we will. You know what I mean? I think we'll play better this week. You know what I mean? And you know, and it's just offensively, if they run blitz and you know what I mean, and you know, and they load the box against the run, you know, we may have some issues there. We may have some trouble there. Because the second half makes me nervous, man. That was not good. That was not good. I'm not panicking. It wasn't good. You know what I mean? The first half was great. The second half was horrible. It definitely was not good. The first half can beat the Saints. And I think it's going to be a mixture somewhere in between there. Just if we're consistent throughout the 60 minutes of football, offense, defense, we can beat the Saints on the road. This is a winnable game. We haven't lost a road game since 2013. You know what I mean? This is regular season. We lost to Green Bay last year. In the regular season, you know, we went 8-0 last year, and we were dominant on the road. You know what I mean? We haven't lost a road game for some reason. It seems like ever since we got Jerry's World, new $1 billion stadium, we don't play that well at home. We were 4-4 last year at home. We lost last week at home to the Falcons. We just don't play that well at home. The mindset is different on the road, I guess. I mean, I don't know what it is. You know, we just play completely different on the road. And you know what I mean? Like I said, this is a winnable game. You know what I mean? I actually think we're going to beat the Saints. I really do. You know what I mean? This is a winnable game for us, man. Like I said, their defense is known to give up plays. Their offense isn't as explosive. Like I said, they don't have Jimmy Graham. Drew Brees is getting hit a lot this year. Now, we don't have a great pass rush. You know what I mean? But he's getting hit a lot this year. That's why he got the injury against the Bucks. You know what I mean? He's been getting hit a lot. So there could be some opportunities where you got an average at best defensive line, an average at best offensive line. Both sides can can make some plays, make things happen. You know what I mean? Because we sacked Matt Ryan in the first quarter, but that was really about it as far as any type of pressure or anything. Aaron Rodgers doing another touchdown, doing his thing. But anyway, man, it's a winnable game, man. This is definitely a winnable game. By the time you guys watch the video, you may know the status of Drew Brees by then. You know what I mean? Because the reason I'm making a video kind of early is my birthday is coming up this week. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, you know what I mean? I could be out of, I'm in the mix, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So I want to go ahead and make the video, and we may know by Sunday night if Brees could be a game time decision. I don't know. Luke McCown played solid last week, but end of the day, with or without Brees, this game is very winnable, man. I think our defense will play better. I think we'll be more consistent, you know what I mean? Consistent throughout the 60 minutes of football, you know what I mean? Don't just be high on the cliff, up on a mountain, and just completely fall off. You know what I mean? Offensively, with only 52 total offensive yards in the second half, I think we'll be better. I think we'll be consistent throughout the game. If we're consistent throughout the game, offensively and defensively, we can beat the Saints. This game is very winnable, no doubt. We're very winnable. You know what I mean? But they said there are some things that I'm concerned about. You know what I mean? They got Brandon Browner. He was with LOB, won a Super Bowl last year with the Patriots, and now he's with the Saints, one of the more bigger physical corners. Terrence Williams and Devin Street are known to be physical, things like, especially Terrence Williams. Can they get separation? Can Wheaton be smart with the ball? You know what I mean? He played solid. The issue with Wheaton is not his arm. The guy's got a big arm. The issue with Wheaton is pressure. You put pressure on Brandon Wheaton in the pocket, he'll turn it over. He will turn it over, man. No doubt. You know what I mean? This is a winnable game, man. This is a win. Now, we can't let the Saints jump out early like we did to the Falcons. Jump out because that dome will get to rocking and say they're desperate for a win. We can't have it. We're consistent. Just be consistent. Be consistent throughout the whole game. This game is very winnable. Winnable game, man. Anyway, man, Saints Nation, man, here we come. We coming, man. We coming with our own backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So don't think because we got Brandon Wheaton, it's gonna be an easy W for you guys. No, nah. You know what I mean? But we coming, Saints Nation. You know what I mean? Let the trash talking begin, whatever it may be. Talked a little bit with the Falcons fan. You know, after we lost, some guys let me hear it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's all in good fun, man. But we coming, Saints Nation. We coming. You know what I mean? I think this is a winnable game for us, man. But let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, man. Leave a comment. All that good stuff, man. A winnable game. Just be consistent, man. If we're consistent throughout the whole 60 minutes of football, we can win this game. We can win this game, man. So don't know the status of Drew, you know what I mean? Things like that. I'm going to get back watching Monday Night Football. But let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Cowboys Nation, man. This is a winnable game, man. This is a winnable game. No doubt. You know what I mean? So, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. Peace.